Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's lair. I'm your host, Larry, and we are back for some more Destiny 2. Now, I know I said I probably wouldn't showcase more of this on the channel. I kinda ended up changing my mind because it ended up looking a lot better than I thought it would. Because I know I said in my previous coverage, back during the early showcases from like E3 of this year, and the Destiny 2 beta that you could play, the opening sequence, which I'm redoing here. But just in general, the gameplay, the gunplay, the enemies, that all just seems to mesh a little bit better together, along with having things like, you know, they actually remembered that the game needs to have the story in it, not just a secondary app that you put on people's phones or had on the web. So I've gone ahead and I've recreated my original Titan as like my Chupacabra character as the Exo race. And here we are. I'm gonna pop through here. We're gonna get our pants kicked by the Cabal Emperor or whatever his fancy pants face is. And we're gonna see where it goes from there. I'm still not super thrilled with the selection of races in the game. You have the option of humans. You have the option of robots, which admittedly the robots are kind of cool. The idea behind the Exo or the robot race is that they are a species created by some kind of collaboration between human beings and the Traveler. And they are like a proper life form. They're just robotic. They can reproduce, they can, you know, they can have sex and all that, I'm sure. Because that's just the fun part of being alive in any, you know, species. Is the, you know, the sexy time. And they, you know, they're a playable race. That's about all there is to it. Their original origins are kind of generally unknown. The lore cards used to say that they were created as a part of a war effort, a long forgotten war effort, which is kind of defunct now because we don't remember what it was because we lost a lot of what we were doing. Because, you know, end of the golden age, basically the apocalypse going on, but hey. Then, of course, you've got my least favorite, the Space Goths, which are the Chosen. People originally said they were going to be like Space Elves or something. I wouldn't go quite that far. But they're certainly not crazy interesting. They're just pale people. They just look like regular human— Oh, hi, friend. Do I have my juice available? I do. Which means I can punch you in the face repeatedly. That's right, take it. I do like the new— Oh, okay. I was about to say, I do like the new Titan abilities, because you can go punch people right in their face, but at the same time, you have to go punch them right in their face, and that doesn't always work like you intend to. But yeah, they're just pale people with glowing eyes. I would like, if you're gonna give me something that is, like, if you're gonna— humans, fine. Just make that a subset of humans, the Chosen. The human beings that went into space and got pale, and their evolutionary tree devolved, or diverged, because— do I just shoot here? Where do I shoot? Good enough. Their evolutionary tree diverged because they're in space and shit. That's fine. That's a respectable backstory that I can go with. But just make that a subset of people. They're technically just pale-looking people. I would have expected, like, I don't know, lizards or something else. Some other alien race that kind of followed after the Traveler to be a selection. So the closest I've got is I can make a Chupacabra that's all blue with antlers and stuff and horns out of the Exo race, which is just good enough. Although I guess in the grand scheme of things, that probably shouldn't bother me that much. Like, really, the fact that I have all options beyond just, you know, people number 5 in a game like this is probably a miracle all on its own. So there you have it. I gave a lot of guff to that in the original when I first started playing, because they let you do a fair bit in the original's open beta. And I got quite a bit of traffic for that, but people didn't like me ragging on the Space Goths. But this whole introductory sequence here feels a lot more refined than the first one. Like, I'm liking it a lot more. Alright, here's where things go a little bit south on us.
How do we come back from this?
You don't.
There he is. There's their Space Centurion Emperor dude.
Without light.
Uh-oh. All of our light juju just died.
Something's wrong.
And our totally not Cortana pet is just gotten crunked as well.
Do not look at me, creature. You are weak, undisciplined, cowering behind walls. You're not brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of death. Allow me to reacquaint you. Your kind never deserved the power you were given. I am Ghaul, and your light is mine.
So yeah, that charming guy is the leader of the Cabal in this area. I believe, if I remember correctly, he is a deposed ruler of their little empire, or at least somebody who's in line to the throne, and he wants the power of the Traveler so that he can take the throne for his. And admittedly, it's a pretty good power. So I suppose we'll see, like, some fakey Guardian powers from the enemies in the not-too-distant future. Oh, this is kind of neat. Man, they've really got some gorgeous landscapes in this game. Hopefully, those are all things that we can go and explore and see in the not-too-distant future. That giant world-eating thing, I think that's the Cabal's technology. Because they're supposed to be their whole shtick, is the world-eating, like, raid boss thing? Yeah. Okay. So, we are devoid of our light and power, and I'm guessing we need to find our ghost. So that we don't die. The question, I guess, is how do we get our light back? They've got that giant glowing butt plug on the Traveler, which is probably going to prevent us from getting our juice back, but there's lots of human beings that don't need the light to live. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that we probably just, you know, crash something into that giant thing. Boy, this is slow going here. I thought maybe I had to sneak around, but I guess the Cabal has just already taken off. I don't have my main weapon. I do have a sidearm. So basically the same thing I started this intro sequence with. I'm 90% certain that I'm just looking for my ghost, which is probably on the ground somewhere. In a less than glamorous location. Probably in the garbage heap somewhere. What was that? Oh, do I have... Oh, is automatic voice stuff on? No, let's not. Settings. Sound. Okay, that's better. I don't know what the automatic voice chat push to talk is, but I don't want that on while I'm recording. Because then people are gonna, like, wonder what the fuck who I'm talking to, so, you know. Okay, so I guess I have to hunker down here. That passes overhead. Yeah, we've basically lost this whole shibboigan. Yep, they have taken over this city. They've got tanks now, of all things. Alright, I guess we gotta blow up some tanks. There's, a giant centurion. Yeah, you definitely get the whole Roman vibe from these guys, which is definitely intentional. Okay, there's our ghost. We might be able to get our organs put back in our body after getting kicked off of a spaceship. Admittedly, the fact that we're not already dead is great.
You're alive. I thought I'd lost you. I can heal you, but I can't resurrect you. Not since.
Okay, so we're pretty much boned.
Guardian, the light is gone. They've taken the city, the traveler, everything. The Red Legion is killing powerless guardians. We have to get out of here.
Come on, let me shoot the tank before I go in the tunnel, please. Come on. Alright, well. We definitely start the game on a low point.
An emergency broadcast. Rendezvous coordinates. They're evacuating the planet.
Wow, a whole planet, huh?
We're on our own.
Alright, well. Guess we just get to pretend we're Bear Grylls now. I don't know, I figured we would have been at a better spot at the end of the last game. Like, we basically killed a bunch of god creatures. What's just a bunch of douchey, centurions they're literally just a bunch of dudes with ships. There's nothing particularly fancy about them, but I guess they just took us by surprise that hard. So, the city is crunked? I don't even see the Traveler anymore. Yeah, things could be better.
These guardians. They had no chance without their powers. That could be us. Guardian, if you die, I can't resurrect you. We need to be very careful.
Okay, so this is a one-stop shop, or else I die. Got it. That's fine, because all I'm really shooting are just random alien dogs. They're not immune to being punched to death, so there's that. I think those belong to the Cabal. Don't necessarily quote me on that, but yeah. Alright. Could everyone else who's a giant war beast, could you come out so I could shoot you in the face? That would be great. Follow the falcon through the mountains, alright. So the bird is in fact the word in this particular situation. What? Could I have my gun back, please? Thank you.
Again. Is it following us? Or are we following it?
I like how this game gets randomly existential too, like, are we really following the falcon? Or is the falcon following our soul? How are we... So we lost our powers. How are we not, like, freezing to death, right? Oh. Okay. So don't go off that cliff. Go to this path that doesn't necessarily... Yeah, look, this goes slightly down, and that path looks survivable. Alright, well, wouldn't be my first time in a Destiny game not 100% certain where they want us to go. Because the obvious thing that they tell me to follow is maybe not quite as obvious as they think it is. Okay. I guess down the hill this time. So what? This is an Amalon rifle. I like how there's only one city left in the universe for humans. And we still have branding on the weapons. Like, we have some option of getting a different gun. Oh wait, I can just punch the dogs to death. Hell yes. I'm down to clown with that. But yeah, my response about, like, the Traveler getting taken over thing at this point is simply that I figure by the end of the first game, that fucker should have woken up by now and started shooting things with us. Like, we should be in an all-out galactic war for the fate of the galaxy and met some other species by now that were also at war with these various factions. But I guess that's just not meant to be. Am I not allowed to sprint? Is that... I guess that's what's happened. Oh. Remember, Larry, some of these cliffs aren't actually where you're supposed to go, and they will just kill you. And I don't trust rickety trees. Not after that random fall to my death. That ended the whole mission. Hey, if this is where we're gonna host the new okay. Is that... Oh, that was intentional. I was about to say, this is where we're gonna hold the new resistance, at least it's scenic.
Somebody left a perfectly good guardian lying around. Things must be worse than I thought. And that's our cue. Time to go, people!
So yeah, there's my character. Do you like him? He's a Chupacabra with horns and everything.
From here as possible.
That falcon, it belongs to you?
The name's Hawthorne, and this is Lewis. Best pilot we got. What about you? Fit to fly? Probably gonna need one of these.
That's another thing that's kind of like a holdover from Bungie pining for its Halo days, is the protagonist that has the ability to talk but just doesn't, because then they'd have to let you pick from a bunch of different voice actors. God forbid. With a budget as big as Destiny, that they give you some voice actor options for your main character to converse with the people around them. I do like that lady, though, with the hawk. She seems badass.
Traveler, all that I have done, grace me with your light. Take your place at the center of my empire. See me, and the Red Legion will be your true guardians.
Dominus, the city is secure. Those who fled are being hunted, and those foolish enough to remain have been executed. Victory, as with all things, is yours to claim.
This victory is as much yours as mine, old friend.
All that remains is the completion of the cage around this great machine. Then we may begin the extraction of its power and put it to its rightful use.
They call it the Traveler.
Actually, now that I think about it, I guess these guys are the lizard creatures I wanted.
Precise in their naming. Its functions can be controlled and exploited, as we have so clearly proven.
Yet they believe it to be a god.
Dominus Ghaul. We have spent our lives, you and I, working to reshape our society, reforge our people, rebuild an empire nearly destroyed by Callus's greed and corruption. There is nothing in this universe greater than you. The Red Legion will have that machine's power. You will be called Emperor. What more would the Dominus have?
I would have words with my guest.
Oh, is that where they took the speaker? Okay, so they kidnapped the speaker who's supposed to converse with the Traveler. So I guess they have him here to torture Star Wars style, not Star Trek.
So you're the one who speaks for the Traveler.
I always kind of just assumed that that was kind of like how the Pope speaks for God. He doesn't actually. It's just kind of like a seat of ultimate interpretation of the Holy Traveler scripture. I don't know. The whole Traveler as like a god creature was kind of neat.
The European dead zone. Gonna be our new home for a while.
Look, do you recognize it? That's where we're supposed to go.
That thing? They call it the Shard of the Traveler. I call it not a place you want to go poking around.
Oh, we should have just duct taped that back to the Traveler already. I like how it's still smoking after like 200 years too. Alright. But yeah, I don't know, the whole Traveler as a god creature thing was always kind of funky to me. 'Cause like, the darkness was really poorly defined in the game. Like, there's like this evil, menacing, evil force. That's just pure evil that wants to touch your booty. That is loosely aligned with all these enemies that are coming after you, but, I don't know. Then all of a sudden, all the enemies were just after it, and it was unrelated to the darkness, and the darkness was just part of, I guess, the Vex? The robot people? I don't know. So, I think that's a good stopping point for right now. We're at the hub town, where I guess we'll figure out if we're gonna get our powers back. We're probably just gonna go up to the literal ass end of the Traveler that fell off 200 years ago and lick it or something. So we'll figure it out from there. I kind of skipped a lot of the first part of this, like the creation of my character, because I feel like it's neat, but I feel like a lot of people probably don't care all that much. So I just figured you can watch other people's character creations. We might do a character creation of a fresh class in the future. But I just kind of want to keep it a little shorter for people so we can kind of get a little bit of a feel for the in-between. So that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody.